What's going on, guys? I'm Off Track Seb, and as always, I have Off Track West with me. And today we're going to be talking about something a little bit special, a little bit close to our hearts. I mean, I guess a little bit close to everybody's hearts, since iCarly is kind of like what everybody kind of watched that. Like you might not remember it, but like everybody remembers like at least one episode. And your subconscious is kind of like buried if you just like were to think about it for 5 seconds.
Yeah, it's definitely a childhood throwback, and it's nice to see a reboot, I guess, in a world of a lot of reboots. It's nice to see.
I never thought a show like this would get a reboot.
That is true.
I guess nostalgia really does sell, man.
That's
crazy.
true.
Nobody's immune. If you haven't seen this series and you're an iCarly fan, you owe it to yourself to just watch it. I feel like this show works best for an iCarly fan, somebody who saw it back in the day. You didn't have to be like the biggest of fan. Like as long as you saw a couple episodes, you know the character dynamics, you know who Freddie and Sam and Carly are and what the show was about and who Spencer is and how he was. You'll probably be fine watching this. You'll probably want to at least see the first 3 episodes, see if you like it or not. I'd highly recommend it because we will be spoiling stuff. But if you're not a fan, I would say you probably need this thing. Watch the video, see what you think about what we say, and make the decision afterwards, you know? Because I would say that it takes a little bit of context to understand the characters, because I don't think the show does the best job reintroducing everybody to like a new audience, but I guess it wouldn't really have to do this, because like I said before, this show works best for like iCarly fans, like people who've seen the show, who understand the characters, who know the characters, and how their dynamics worked previously, you know?
And it's as someone, I mean, we are kind of the target audience.
Yeah, we are the target audience. It was around when I was growing up, when I was around that age. The only thing is that well, I didn't really get to see a lot of it like while it aired. I just saw reruns most of the time.
So you're telling me
I'm the rerun kid. Yeah, I didn't see anything in order.
You weren't there. You weren't there live in that episode where Sam and Freddie kissed. To the millions.
I was there live for that one. I was there live for that
good.
one. I will say that.
We both experienced that moment live.
I experienced that. I also experienced the moment when they ruined it, but whatever. Like
I also experienced that moment live.
If you're new on the channel, before we move on, make sure you leave a like if you like the content and subscribe. It helps with some algorithm stuff, but we will move on straight into the content. We will be talking about iCarly today.
Is it iCarly Plus?
I guess iCarly Plus.
iCarly Plus. I like that joke.
I guess this will be a great debate, right?
Oh yeah, I suppose this is a great debate if we're bringing that back officially.
All right, iCarly is back in 2021, and first, it starts with episode 1, I Start Over, introducing us. It just throws us right into it. It just doesn't even waste any time. Right into the jokes, right into the characters. Just like a couple years later, right? Like
we're stepping back into the characters' lives after.
Yeah.
I think that's a way of putting it. And so I guess in the first episode, we start off with Carly, I guess with her boyfriend trying to, because he's proposing a new channel, which is not too weird. There's a lot of couple YouTube channels, but it would be hard to imagine.
Yeah.
it would be weird to see Carly do that, but things get a bit goofy.
We were introduced to the characters again, and we see everybody how they relate to each other now. As for example, we find out Freddie is he's gone through 2 marriages. He's going through it, homeboy. At 26 or 25, however old he is, he's already had 2 divorces, and he has a joint custody kid.
A 7-year-old daughter.
Exactly. Who does not listen to anybody. But for what it was, I thought it worked. We are introduced to the new characters. There's something a little interesting going on with Carly and her. I guess she records every aspect of her life, right? Or to just, get some content out of it. You're always talking about this now, right? Like, I should have recorded this. I guess she doesn't have that problem. That
is true.
She just records everything, which we see doesn't really always play out the best way for her and the people around her, as we later see in episode 3 with Spencer.
Yeah, it is a bit funny how meta the show can get, and I would say the more meta it gets, the more interesting. Yeah, but also like sometimes it feels accidental, like they couldn't have been thinking about some of these things, and maybe the writers were. I guess I suppose it's like the original show couldn't have predicted social media and how things have gotten. So maybe the balance between how accurate what the show is saying can be its strength points for later down the road.
Yeah, maybe.
I forgot how good of an actor Jerry Trainer was, because it immediately felt like I was stepping into seeing him again.
Everything felt natural. Like if you were just jumping back into it as a fan, it felt very like, oh, okay, so this is where we are.
Set was very like good and nostalgic. Yep. I really liked the joke. How I was like, oh, this is new, but just a little bit different. It's
the Spencer trying to impress the new character Harper with his art, and just kind of like her saying like, what does it matter if she liked it or not? That was kind of I like that. A little bit of why you don't always have to take people's criticisms with like they don't always have to like keep you up at night, you know. Like if you're satisfied with your work, you're satisfied with it.
Yeah, seeking validation is not the best thing you could do for your self-assurance.
Exactly. But moving on to episode 2, I Hate Carly, which was the episode where Carly essentially had a stalker online who started shitposting on her comment sections, berating her, telling her to do better. And it turns out that guy is
13 years.
I know, for 13 years. That takes some dedication. But essentially, they have what I guess is... I'm gonna just use the term they use in the episode not because it's good, but because I guess I can't put it any better than they can. In the episode, they had a hate cute, I guess, whatever. Like they met. Yeah, I know. When they said that, I just kind of like inside, I was like, okay, reset. This show is, you know what I mean? Like it was hard. It was entertaining for what it was. I wouldn't say this episode definitely was not the highlight for me. Personally.
Same here. I felt it was weak, but I definitely think it had a few good jokes in there, and I think it was good characterizing Carly, mostly because it kind of reminded me Carly's a bit of like a freak or kind of weird, and she always had those.
Yeah, she is pretty crazy.
The theme of the episode was the ick.
Yeah.
Or like the one thing that makes you want to not date someone. For Harper, she gave someone the ick because she brought a bunny suit to the bedroom. So make of that what you will.
She's a furry. What else does it mean?
Yeah, that's what that means. I found it really funny that for Carly, her ick wasn't the fact that her hater hated her for 13 years.
Or kind of like weirdly stalked her. And
it was the fact that he just really was bad on camera, which is kind of weird, kind of worrying.
Like, he was so bad, but he was so confident with it. It was kind of crazy.
Yes. What you pointed out about Carly's character, she's so self-assured, but she's so
over the top with it. Like exactly, she has drunk her own Kool-Aid.
Yes.
I kind of like that about her character now, because it kind of gives her like something to. It's a funny dynamic, that dichotomy she has with other characters, because they'll be talking about, and she'll be talking about her brand like it's like the greatest thing on earth. Do you think that's irony, or do you think she's like full on bought into it?
I think she's very bought into
the iCarly brand.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess that directly leads into the next episode, right? If IFO apologize, I really like that title, actually.
Good title. I would have preferred I Get Canceled, but that was a good one.
Essentially, she's so bought into her brand that she's created this meme with Spencer's face on it, and he doesn't like it, and he thinks that the internet is too focused on what he considers mediocre internet art compared to his...
I could empathize with that because because no one cares about his art.
That's
true. It's like, I don't know, it's a two-side thing. I get it's not fair that he's not being supportive of him, but he's kind of existing in a world where no one kind of cares about art, but that's his life work. So how does he sort of deal with that? They can notice just like...
I like his solution though. He's like, okay, I'm gonna monetize on all of this by just like, I guess just crapping on it.
I think that was a funny punchline to it all. Because at the end of the day, despite all of the people that were getting mad, they still made money off of those shirts by the end of the day. That is true. Episode. Funny point is, they literally recreate a meme in real life.
That's one of the positive points. And speaking of positive points, I guess we could just jump into talking about what we liked about the 3 episodes that we got to see in this, I guess, iCarly reboot. God, I never thought I'd be saying those words together in a sense.
Same here. I think as a sitcom, it was just sort of fine. It kind of reminded me how much I kind of dislike sitcoms and the laugh tracks, but for positive, I just felt like what we said earlier. I kind of felt like we're stepping back into the characters' lives. We kind of have to mention it, but I don't mind that Sam and Gibby aren't here if the actors don't want to be there. I just kind of respect that. I'm not so beholden to the original show that, no, you can't have this if they're not here. I think it's fine in that they can respect the decisions and they can still go on and it could be something different. And I kind of like how they didn't just ignore Sam. They brought her up, and maybe we'll find out about Gibby later or down the line. I also liked episode 3 on like the meta level. I definitely think it could do a bit more to sort of be meta. We talked about it a bit, but it's just the fact that they had a meme in real life and they recreated it within the show. sort of having those inside jokes. There's a lot of inside jokes that the show makes that sort of like, I think they're trying to be self-aware. I definitely feel like there's an effort here. That's what we could ask for. It doesn't have to be as like exactly like the original show is. It just needs to be serviceable enough. And it doesn't have to be entertaining. One of those jokes to be meta or talks about internet culture in more different ways, in a more expansive ways.
What I personally liked about the show was that as somebody who used to watch the show, it was very accessible. It was just like easy to just jump in and just get back to just like, you know, you didn't have to do too much to just like, oh, I wonder what happened there and how this played out. It's just like easy to just get back into the world with the way the characters just kind of like slip back into their roles and all that. I will say that some of the exposition they did was kind of jarring, but that was fine because I feel like they redeemed it by like just letting us settle into these characters that much quicker.
Yes.
That way, like everything, they could just jump into plots and narratives and stuff like that. I feel like it does the show well. Like the 3 episodes, if you watch them, you will not be bored if you were a fan of the series. I feel like this show is very good at capturing what the fans liked about the original show and just like re-showing it in a new way. Like they had with the little sculpture that Spencer did, right? Like you said, he did the sculpture earlier in season 1 when they needed to win that, what was it? The world record. They needed to get into the book. And now he redid it again, kind of like how they redoing the show again. Like you said, when they're meta, it's good. Yeah, I like that aspect of the show. I also like some of the jokes. I also like
Millicent or Harper.
Yeah, I really like Millicent. I didn't like her at first in the beginning, but as the episodes went on, I feel like she grew on me. I feel like she's a character that you either hate her or you like her, because I don't think there's like an in-between with those types of characters, because like they either like work for you or they don't. Either like I feel like she works in the sense that she gives Carly kind of like she gives her like that reality check that she kind of needs, because she's kind of quite often very much drinking her Kool-Aid, like we said before.
Yeah,
so
that is true.
The fact that they give her like a child that kind, because she's a child, like you see that they don't take her seriously, which I guess to me shows me that like she's not bought in so much into her brand that she's gonna argue with this child over her image. I kind of like that. So
it also helps that she's a tech savvy kid, which is not tech savvy, but a media savvy kid, which would make sense and kind of does another thing to sort of reinform the show.
Sometimes the writing isn't great for her, but when it works, it really works. I don't really like her dynamic with her father, though, with Freddie. It's kind of weird. Sometimes they show you that they're going somewhere cool with it, but then they turn it into what happened in episode 3, where I guess she manipulated him into
getting a new keyboard,
which I don't think works for the character too much, because it cements her as hateable. So like
she shouldn't be Megan. She shouldn't be Megan, basically.
Yeah, exactly. She should be like allowed to be like kind of like a good, like a character, right? Like that makes good decisions and bad decisions alike. So yeah, I don't know.
I hope for. I don't want to hope for too much, but I'm fine with them like joking now that Freddie kind of is a bit of a pushover, but he's a dad that's trying his best.
Yeah.
But I hope that doesn't like lose its goodwill. Because depending on how long they keep that up, I could get tired of it.
Yeah.
But I hope that like they can have him develop as a father, because there's a lot of interesting things they could do. But I kind of remember that maybe they just won't develop him and keep the status quo.
Yeah, that could be bad. I guess while talking about these negative points, we can move on to the negative aspects of the show that we didn't like, which I guess that would, for me, would be one of them. That the possibility of their relationship being stagnant for the remainder of the show. I'm interested in seeing what they do with these characters, but also, I can see it getting stale really quickly, if you get what I mean. Like, some of the stuff doesn't really always work well, mesh well. Like,
I mean, some people got tired of Sam and Freddie's, like, fighting dynamic.
Yeah, but I was one of those people. Especially after what they... I told you in the beginning, what they did about... let's not reopen those wounds, okay?
Reopening old wounds. They ruined my first ship. Now I'm playing.
I didn't like the way that in the beginning of the show there was so much exposition in their dialogue. It was so weird. It was kind of annoying.
Yes, it didn't feel too natural.
It was it stuck out a lot, and it was kind of like jarring a little bit. I could see it putting people off, and I feel like
it was noticeable.
Yeah, very noticeable. Also, episode 2 was very weak for me. I didn't like a lot of the things that happened. I feel like they reduced Spencer, like you were saying. Jerry Trainer, he's a good actor, right? And then they reduce him in some episodes to just like, physical jokes, I
mean, they've always done that, but
I get that they always done that.
It doesn't make it okay,
right? Like in them trying to do something new, I feel like they're not funny. Like honestly, I don't think that I don't find it funny. Kind of like a low bar type of jokes.
Yeah, they're a very low bar. I do like the joke at the end that he was trying to get with this girl and he didn't remember his name. Because I definitely feel like Spencer in the original show was the guy that would like hang out with a lot of girls and mess with them but not know their name.
And the fortune lady knew you. She said you're a man whore. She said you're one big man whore.
Speaking of which, she's rich now. So
yeah, and then they could do that in a new way since like I'm interested to see now that like the target audience is older what type of things they could do. Harley swears now. Whoa.
I will say specifically, I think some of the points or some of the plot points in the show are kind of weak, kind of like just brought up just for like the sake of just like they don't really like focus on them. They just kind of bring them up and drop them later on in episodes. I don't really like that a lot. I feel like a lot of the plot points that they used for some episodes are kind of brought up and dropped really quickly.
How do you feel about Harper?
I like Harper for what she was, and I want to see more from her. Right now, she kind of fits that character who's just like the black friend. I don't know how I feel about that, but we will see, right? Moving forward, if that's all she ever is in the show.
She hasn't had a focus episode, so I'm hoping they give a chance.
They've only
like,
had 3 episodes, right? So like,
I
guess
true.
in trying to be fair, right? Give them more of a chance to develop all the characters, but she's not the weakest, but I kind of want them to do more with her a little bit, you know.
But I'm glad they let her be her own person, not like
furry.
I guess so. But not, I was gonna say not like Sam's replacement. I'm not trying to fill that role, but be her own person and have her own dynamics.
I like that they're doing new things. I like that a lot. I definitely say that this show very much works for somebody who is a fan of iCarly. I don't know about new fans. Yeah,
you shouldn't watch this. Right? I don't think you should watch this if you're a new fan. That's,
right? Like if you don't know anything about the show, I don't feel like it will mesh well. I guess
but it doesn't need to work for
arguments.
New fans.
That's true.
That's what I think. It doesn't really need
just
to.
Just go full nostalgia.
Yeah, I also don't think the show would have been good if it just went full nostalgia. I think they are trying and there's an attempt. It might not be a best attempt, but it's a nice, honest, and genuine one. And I like that it's being done, and I'm willing to see more. Like it's interesting enough that I'm willing to see more.
Yeah, I will say that. Yeah, I'm willing to see more.
It's it's me at 8 watching iCarly and me at 22 watching iCarly. I'm willing to see more.
Oh my God, iCarly is back. Did you know iCarly was coming back? How do you feel about iCarly coming back? Is this just nostalgia marketing? Is
it great or is it bait? That's the question.
Is it great or is it bait? Is the question.
It has potential.
It has potential to be great, but for me, very much after seeing the first 2 episodes, it's very meh. I'd watch it, but like it's,
that is true. It's not great or bait. It's just okay, and I want to see more.
It's kind of just like in the middle, right?
It's not like I'm holding the original show on this like God bespoken pedestal. I think it just needs to be serviceable.
That's true. That's
also before we finish this off, are you scared if they put Carly and Freddie together? I remember hearing that, be like, they won't do that.
Oh, I guess it could be interesting to explore that relationship with all the baggage that these characters have like incurred over those years.
He's a bit too cozy with her.
He is a bit too cozy, I will say that. But honestly, maybe that's just friendship speaking, and we don't have to ship everybody. Yeah.
Yes.
I don't know if he still has feelings for her. He hasn't. I mean, I guess maybe.
I doubt it. He went through 2 marriages and has a child. If he still has, that's very concerning. Or maybe they might prop up. I don't know.
We will see how they explore those that relationship. I do want to see what they do with it, but I don't know if they will go where we're expecting. I don't think they would do anything obvious. Maybe.
It feels like that would be way too the low-hanging fruit.
Right. Carly's kind of crazy, isn't she? Like, she wants to be in a relationship really badly. Like, for some reason.
Yes.
Like, she defines her so much about herself. Like, it's to a creepy degree, too. She researches their entire backgrounds and prints pictures of them from, like, pictures that she sees online. That's kind of woof.
Twice.
I don't know. She did it twice, exactly. It's kind of weird. I don't know. I hope they explore that aspect of her character, like, seriously, not just, like, as a throwaway. But I guess... as it is, it's kind of funny, but like it's kind of concerning at the same time. She's literally stalking these guys that she literally just met.
Yeah, it's pretty weird.
In the age of the internet. Maybe we're too innocent, man.
I definitely want to finish the first season.
Yeah, definitely worth watching. Yeah, definitely. I like it too. I'm definitely willing to finish the season, of course. But as always, guys, if you liked the video, please leave a like and subscribe for more content. But I've been Offtrack Seb, and I've had Offtrack West with me as always.
Heyo.
Thank you, man. Thank you for showing up, man. But you kind of put this on my radar. I wouldn't even know about it if it wasn't for you.